Hello, ARL fans. It's Brian
This is Nick.
coming back at you with another episode of ARL, the podcast. Today we're going to be talking one that we're kind of excited about in a way is the world famous Lake Shawnee abandoned amusement park in Princeton. Um, this place is pretty much legendary in the paranormal field. Um, just for the mere history and everything that supposedly has happened there with the death of a little girl on one of the rides. Um, it just seems like it's just a, it's just,
It's a hospital.
it would be a paranormal
Gold mine.
gold mine, basically, Indians and burial grounds. And they actually unearthed bones, and when they were expanding in the 80s, which caused it to shut back down. But it just, you have to see it for yourself, because the rides that have been reclaimed by the earth, and just it's just creepy. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah, seeing like the vines and stuff growing over them.
It's just incredible. And it's definitely, that's a nice backdrop for once the sun goes down and they turn off the lights and they say, there you go. And me and Nick had the luxury of being the only two people in the park the whole night. We didn't have to worry about running into anybody else. We could just pretty much do whatever we wanted.
Especially after the cemetery, it's nice to kind of have that freedom. You know, didn't have to worry about cars driving by or
Worry
people
about
yelling.
or the police or anything like that.
Yeah, because it's like family-owned property. Yeah.
And speaking of the family that owns that place, Chris White and his mother Jewel,
Very hospitable.
yeah, they're top notch. They're, just from A to Z, were nice, across the board, helpful, answered any questions you had. Didn't even Chris, who says if you put anything online about the stories, because in that way nobody will come if they know all the stories, told you stories. And it was just, it was a great night.
Yeah.
But as part of the investigation goes, I would say we pretty much crapped out, because there's so much ground to cover. I chalk it up to just not being in the right place at the right time, because there's so much ground to cover and only two people. It was just,
We couldn't really go and do solo stuff because it was so dark we couldn't really see.
yeah.
You know, we need both of our flashlights and every light we had to kind of keep going.
Right.
You know, great place for photos. It was probably one of the best places I ever been.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice backdrop. And it was one of them things where you felt like at any moment something could happen. Or I don't know about Nick, but I had a feeling just there was something there, but we just couldn't get it to come out and do what we wanted to do, because they had there was a booth, a ticket booth, I guess you would call it. They sold refreshments and stuff out of it, and there was a lot of stories from that place where people were getting either pushed out of it, or the door was shutting behind them and not letting it.
Well, there was a story of like a girl. She said like her hair, she had like a ponytail or something. Her hair kept being like pulled, not like really hard,
Yeah.
but like it tugged it to like no, like towards the door, like hey, get out.
Yeah, so they were kind of thinking it was, a strong male presence. So
Hmm.
I took some of my equipment over there and I tried to call it out a little bit, and it didn't even do. Everything was dead.
Hmm. Well, see, I can't remember telling you like where the lake is. There's like a little like natural walkway that gets to the
Yeah,
rest of
the
it.
path around. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got that like kind of vibe right there in that area. Not really towards anything really else, but like right there. It's like all right. It's kind of one of those like somebody's looking at you.
Hmm.
But anywhere else, it was like all right, like it's just kind of like a field.
Yeah, it was just kind of
You
like
know,
something was looking at you like, okay, what are these two guys doing?
yeah.
Why are they, they're just, you know, it's not Chris, it's not, who are these guys?
Hmm.
And they just didn't want to cooperate for whatever reason.
But even he said like Chris, very nice gentleman, very informative. He kind of mentioned about like the little girl,
Yeah.
saying like she's apparently like shy. He is, they say like his father bought or something like that, right? Or it was like handed down to him.
Yeah, his
You
father
know,
bought the property, and then when he died,
he Chris
he
took it up.
inherited it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so like it's like a family thing. So
Hmm.
like the little girl knows him. She's like,
Yeah, she pretty much interacts with him,
yeah,
and I think that had a lot to do with, me and Nick. We're two guys there. We're strangers. She don't know us,
hmm,
so that's probably why she didn't um, make herself known. And people that visit there, if you ever go there, you can see where they leave toys there for her
yeah.
to
There's
play with to try.
over
And
by the swing.
yeah, we tried that. Um, I had a mini stuffed Minnie Mouse that I sat down under the swing that they say that she was on when she was killed, and I don't that way
We
didn't get.
didn't really have anything because we had camera constantly on
But
her.
even if you thought that if she was afraid of us, at least when we were over on the other side of the lake, away from
She
her and
kind
the
of
swing,
wandered.
you would think that she would she would come back over and check that out. But then my boxes would have went off if something was there, and
Nothing
I
happened.
don't, because we set the boxes up around the Minnie Mouse. So if anything broke, this the through there, if anything was to try to grab it or go through there and see it,
Mm.
the little blue lights would go off. And I watched the whole video and did not see anything go off.
Yeah, we had voice record too. That
Nothing. I left the voice recorder on the swing. Um, yeah, there was there was nothing, and I I don't even know what to say to that because you know I was so hyped up for this and to hear all the stories and you know and the history of what happened to that family from the Native Americans, and it's like, man, there should be more going on here than what we were getting.
hmm. Well, like,
I mean, it's, the two of the kids are actually buried on the property.
hmm, yeah, they actually had like the a sign commemorating
Hmm.
and
Their
saying like it
gravestones
happened
are
in this
still
area.
there.
The bodies are still there. That's like their exact graves.
Hmm.
Because I remember, because like it's off to a side where Chris even said himself. He's like he calls it like the what was it like the creepy tunnel
Yeah,
or
the creepy
creepy
trail. He
creepy
said he
trail.
don't even go down through that way,
Yeah, and
and we
like
went down through that way, and I'm like, I don't know about this.
yeah, because like we went through the day and the night,
Hmm.
and you get that kind of vibe too going down that way. Because you see both the tombstones, and there's like a mound of dirt over them. It's like
Hmm.
that's kind of what happens when it's untreated. Yeah.
I did try to do a little solo session just to see the gauge, see if this might have been a good area to hang around, and we really didn't get a whole lot. And but we did get when I said something about were you killed by the Indians, and then you hear the word Indian
Mhm.
come out of the spirit box. So I mean, that's unexplained. So that, but we didn't, you know,
We didn't really kind of
kind
go.
of thought,
We're,
okay. So
I think kind of the best results we got there was we kind of did the amusement park area. We're like let's go and feel like the burial ground. You know
yeah, the Native American burial ground where I guess
they estimate like 1,000.
I guess the park was doing mud bogs and stuff and doing all that, and they wanted to expand out, and then when they expanded out, they dug up all these bones,
Mhm.
and that made it. Well, okay, now it's a Native American burial ground. It's a historical site, and they weren't allowed to do anything else. And we did get some EMF hits when we were walking out through there, which is unexplainable because there's no electric or nothing out there.
No, it's all
Until you
real.
started, you were trying to Google and play, some Native American chants,
Yeah, we're like trying to sit there
and
and just
that's no
find something, and
coincidence.
you were saying like asking questions, or like even
Yeah,
like
I'm not
taunting.
getting
I
any.
was
Yeah, I
trying to
was
taunt them,
taunting.
and you're like okay, like
I was like, I'm here to take your land. I mean, this isn't just, and this and that. And wasn't getting anything.
yeah, I'm like okay, hang on. So I was there trying to find chance, or like something like authentic,
Right.
like to that tribe, like Shawnee. I found like the like a war
Yes.
chant.
Yeah, a war chant.
And it had like the actual like drums and stuff.
And as soon as you started playing it, the
It,
EMF meter started
it
going
started
off.
going off,
And
and
that
it,
was
it
like,
went
that was kind of
crazy
cool.
onto it.
I have to admit, that was cool.
Yeah,
But it was really nothing beyond that. We did get a couple of freakouts when we saw some eyeballs and turned out to be deer.
man, I still don't even know if that was deer.
Well, the one was a deer, definitely. But
Yeah, because we saw it.
the one off into the
It wasn't
woods.
just one. It was like it started as one, then there's like two more. Yeah, like I sat there. I had little 4-inch pocket knife. I had that thing on me. I
Yeah,
told you like, okay, hold up. I'm
yeah,
you
because we
know
couldn't see. All we saw was eyeballs. We didn't know if it was a bear or a
little
coyote or
coyote or
something.
wolf.
Yeah,
Like
and
we're in God's land, really.
yeah.
So it could be anything.
Let's be honest. Lake Shawnee is when you say BFE, it's really out BFE.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some major, there's a major road that goes through there, but if you didn't know where you were going, yeah, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, that was kind of
So
what
it
we're
was
like.
hard to tell what's out in them woods.
Yeah, because that I saw that, and I it was hard for me to pay attention to it, to like the actual investigation. Because I'm sitting looking at this, I want to see those things getting closer. I'm like, all right, man, like time to go, time to hurry this up. Let's I'm not about to get mauled by something. A little knife ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, and then when we ended up walking all the way down there, that was a pretty good hike. I mean, it
It was at least the length of a football field and a
at
half,
least,
at least.
and then I'm like, is this it? I mean, nothing,
Yeah, because they had like I guess
because I was getting angry. Like there was nothing going on, and at we did go to. They told us what time the Indian um, paranormal stuff starts, and we're
yeah
like, all right, well, it's 15 minutes before that, so we actually went out there during the time, And if we walked all the way out there and was halfway back, I was getting angry. I was like, I'm taking your land. What are you going to do about it? And I said, I don't, all them bones out there, I did that or something, to that effect.
You're like
It's like,
in
I
your
was the
head
one
comment.
basically that did
Yeah.
it. And I, nothing. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Hmm. Yeah, I was kind of let down by it too because like again it's you look online it's like you got TV shows going
Story
on
after
being here.
story, TV shows after TV show.
And he had Chris was talking about having like
Yeah, there was
two an actor and actress
there was the Dead Files that
Dead
originally
Files,
did it, and then he said there was another one coming out that he didn't know what the name of the show was.
yeah.
But I've seen 3 or 4 different
But he was saying there's that actor who did like the first Fast and Furious movie and like
oh yeah, they were
a
there.
female actress.
Yeah,
They did a thing, but I looked at that video. It was cool. There's a lot of people, and it's kind of one of those like after our personal experience with it, like just us. It's one of those like I want to believe that authenticity. I want to believe those like the things you heard in that was real.
yeah. How
It's like
much?
it's also they're actors. I'm like no offense to them personally. Like I've seen the movie, great actor, but how real is when in that video there's at least 50 people there. They had a real big spirit box that had like a voice echoing. Like
Yeah,
it seemed a little too much Hollywood.
to Hollywood. Yeah,
You know, and again, like you said, bad place, bad time. For
but
our
I want to
case.
believe. But I want to believe all the stories too that people had, and I'm not going to say they didn't. We
Yeah.
just didn't. But it kind of makes me wonder. I mean, I guess history's history, but how much of it is just legend, and
Hmm.
how much is it just to draw people there? I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, I'm right there with
I
you.
don't I don't know how
It's
much is urban legend or.
hmm like the facts are there.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I say
But
history's
you
history.
get to that thing where again, too. Another thing is, and like I've probably experienced too with the stuff we've done, but like, kind of like one of those it's haunted, there's this, so your mind kind of thinks that there's something on you, or
Right, you're already
you're already.
predisposed to
Mm-hmm.
thinking, okay, well, they said a little girl died here. So they see her, and then you
Mm-hmm.
think you see her because your mind wants you to see her.
Yeah.
And
And
and if you're going to be, I mean, if you're a normal person, that's fine.
mm-hmm.
But if you're going to be an actual paranormal investigator, you got to separate that. Like if I like right now, we're talking about the most haunted places in the world, and we didn't really get anything. What do we have to gain from saying we didn't get anything? If we capture something, we'd say we get something.
Yeah, and everything up to that point, we got something.
Yeah,
Even like the smallest thing, like like the cemetery, Michael. We heard that.
yeah, we heard
We
that,
had that proof.
and I'm not going to make up something that's okay. Yeah, okay. Well, we saw this at Lake Shawnee, but well, camera work. They do that shit on TV all the time where
Yeah, it's always
camera was always out of the way, or
or facing
yeah,
them.
and like I said, we're talking about one of the most haunted places in the world, and we didn't get anything. So
Hmm.
I mean, not to say nothing's there.
Yeah, I honestly do believe that there's still it's authentic. It's real. I believe there's something out there. That pathway,
It
that
just
weird
didn't.
vibe I got was a weird vibe.
Yeah,
And you know me, I've only said that for one other time recently.
hmm
I'm probably one of the biggest skeptics out of it. So like to sit there and have all these things too, like our previous investigations, I think it really kind of built the hype and made us think like,
Mhm.
all right, we're like, we got this one, we got
This
this
is a
one, we
yeah, it was
had,
a slam
you
dunk
know, like we're like, this is perfect.
because
Like,
we walked into the Moose Lodge not even knowing anything that it would be haunted, and we got stuff.
yeah, it was just an old building.
And to go to Lake Shawnee where it should be a slam dunk and didn't get anything.
Hmm.
I mean, what?
I can't
I
see
don't
as a
know.
reality check for us. You know,
Yeah,
like one of those like just because it's really renowned and
and
like
it is a learning
big.
experience.
Yeah.
That's one of them things where maybe we just weren't compatible with that area.
Hmm.
Not being, especially, well, I mean, I know you're not from around here either,
Yeah, I'm from Kansas.
but
So.
maybe, you know, me being at the Moose Lodge when I was younger and telling them I used to come here in the 80s.
Hmm.
So I kind of draw from that. Well, I don't know anything about Lake Shawnee, never been in there, don't have any personal attachment to it
Hmm.
like I would to places around Fairmont. So, I mean, this has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I would be up to redo it sometime in the future too. You know, I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
we did. I'm not going back there
I
again because
would
I
love
can't
to
get
do it
back
again just because not getting anything, I kind of, it's like now,
there. Now you really want to get
yeah, now I
something.
want to go
You know.
back down there and get something. It's kind of telling a kid you can't do something, and it makes them want to do it that much worse.
Yeah, reverse psychology. You know,
Yeah,
don't touch it. Well, no, I want to touch it. Like, why can't I touch it? You know, why can't I go back? Why can't I sit there and find that ghost one more time? You know, but I think in total, like with Lake Shawnee, I would definitely recommend go there. I
yeah,
mean,
you
even if you're not into like the paranormal stuff or something, it's still. I mean, if you're a photographer
go
like
do the
myself,
yeah, go to
like
do the
it's a
day
day
tour.
tour.
Yeah,
It's affordable. I mean, really kind of is if you look at it. You know, other places will charge you $1,000. It was how much was it for me?
$75 a
75 bucks
person.
each. You know,
Yeah,
and that's overnight.
yeah, all night.
You know, that's nothing. You spend $75. You know, something else that's not really worth that lifetime experience.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Even like you said, if you're a photographer or a cinematographer or whatever, or
Yeah, I mean,
just go down there and just
in
you
the
know
time we went, it was like right in fall. So I mean, you got like the trees they're just starting to turn brown, so you get that really good contrast to it. Get that nice cool breeze that kind of adds to everything else. Like really wonderful scenery, really wonderful people. Yeah, I mean, would I be up for it again? Definitely. Do I recommend it? Of course. You know, did we find anything? Not really. You know,
yeah,
it's
just go there to talk to Chris.
yeah. I mean,
Chris. Let's face it, Chris liked to talk, and he'll
yeah.
tell
It
you he
was.
likes to talk, and
He said he liked to talk like 20 times before he
he
stopped
will
talking.
answer any question you have.
Hmm.
He don't he'll it seems he's one of them guys that seems like he never met a stranger.
Yeah, he definitely like he talked to you on the phone or
Yeah,
like through email or something,
yeah. On and he
and
talked to me on the phone for like 45 minutes, and he don't even know me.
yeah, because I
He
remember
called to
like,
tell me, yeah, you guys are good. Come on
hmm,
down and let me know when you get here.
yeah, we went down and
Turned into a 45-minute conversation.
yeah, I remember we went down my first time ever being out in that part of West Virginia, you know, and like he comes on to me like, oh okay, like you're Brian, like you know who are you today? Oh Nick, man, like great to meet you, like you
Yeah,
know like really nice. He's like you know he's the long lost uncle or something, like dude, you know this is hospitality.
yeah,
You know, and I mean, again, like after everybody else left, you know, they're like closing. You know, he kind of pulled you and you know off to the side right there, trying to get everybody else out.
yeah,
Instead of trying to say like, you know, okay, here's some like behind the scenes stories.
yeah,
Here's the things that you don't get told.
yeah. And
You know,
those are the
and
stories that I mentioned earlier that he said don't put them on the internet.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
I
only
mean,
thing he asked. He was like, I'm gonna tell you this story, don't put it on the internet. That's all we ask. You can put whatever else you want on there.
yeah, and I mean, that's loyalty.
Hmm.
I mean, if you want to hear the stories, go talk to him.
Hmm.
Pull him off to the side or something. Even he might tell you. Spend the $75. Call it a birthday present. Call it Christmas present. Who knows? Do it for. Some people are into it for like an anniversary or something. Like, hey, babe, let's go out here for a year.
Yeah, a lot of people are into
You know,
ghost stuff for
yeah,
couples are doing that.
yeah, and like, go and talk to him. I mean, the man has, again, his father owned it. He grew up there. He's got so many stories. There's so much out there. There's space out there. He
Hmm.
was saying they're working on trying to actually get to the original amusement park because it kind of went through changes as it went.
Yeah, because
You
they
know.
moved the swing that it was in another on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess because where the swing was and um, the concession stand,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know what did he say their reasoning was for moving it, just because
I think they just
they just wanted
did.
it. Yeah.
I think because it was when they're trying to like open it up again. They're like, okay, let's move it here.
Mm.
I think I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's something to ask him.
Because he did tell us, well, okay, here's where the original swing was,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, well, the paranormal investigator. I mean, it's like, well, that's if that's where she died, then that's probably where mostly she's going to be. She's probably not going to be over at the new site.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, because he even asked, he was
He was
talking about the
curious.
girl, and he was asking me. He was like, I don't know anything about paranormal investigating, so he was actually
Yeah.
asking for our input. And I told him, I said, well, if the girl died on impact, she probably didn't know she's dead. So she's probably free roaming the park.
Mm-hmm.
So she pretty much is a 10-year-old girl that has free access to a park, amusement rides, no parents. So she pretty much has the run of the place.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, that sounds, yeah, that sounds so. He was even asking
Yeah, 'cause
questions.
he just kind of knew like the property.
Yeah.
He's a like groundskeeper more or less. Keep
Hmm.
it maintained, keep it mowed, and that kind of stuff. I mean, if I had to rate the overall experience, the what 14 hours we spent there, Shawnee, or like maybe 10 hours. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say 14.
the drive back,
Yeah,
3.5 hours.
yeah,
That's a long way
yeah.
away.
If I actually had to rate overall experience of Shawnee from 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it an 8. Again, you can't beat that type of landscape.
You can't.
You
It's
can't beat that type of, again, once in a lifetime experience. You know, that kind of history.
and to say you've been there.
Yeah, to say, like looking
Hey,
at it on TV or something, and saying like, I've touched that.
yeah,
Like I've
that
sat in that
I'll
sort of
never
thing.
I'll never forget the sight. I mean, you see it on TV, but seeing it in person just doesn't do it justice. Is the Ferris wheel. It's
Oh
just,
my god, I love taking
oh
pictures
my
of
God,
that
it was just,
because we got there at the perfect time.
as I was in awe of it. I was just like, oh my God, I'm actually here.
Yeah, 'cause didn't we guys see it like barely over
You
like
could
on the
see
main
it.
road?
Well, I was like, I don't know where the hell this place is. And you're like, I see the Ferris wheel. I'm like, what? And then it
Yeah.
kind of got closer, and it was like, oh yeah, there it is.
Mhm. Yeah, like I mean, man, even like the lake, I took a good majority of
The
pictures there because
lake,
it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, and like I've never seen water that still.
Well, that's what I'm
And it was
saying. What
windy.
didn't it look? It looked black to me. The water,
Yeah, like it
like
was
it wasn't like
like
water.
yeah, it was like kind of yeah, like I mean it was thick, like you couldn't see
It
the
was
bottom.
like, we
You know?
don't recommend you to come in here.
Yeah.
That's basically what the water was saying.
Yeah, and like I mean on a
I
windy
know that
day
sounds
and like
weird.
it was October, wasn't it, or November?
Yeah, it was October, beginning of October.
Yeah, yeah, beginning of October. And like
It was breezy, but
it
there
was
was like no
breezy.
ripples on the water.
No, and I mean
So that was kind
I
of
got a
weird.
wonderful picture of it. And you could just see the ripple, like literally like just the curve of the water. You know, I've never in like the 7 years I've taken pictures got a picture that clear, that pristine of water. You know, usually when you take pictures of water, there's always some form of blurriness. That water was so still. But every other kind of thing I tried to take a picture of, a tree, a flower, you know, it was blurry. You know, but really nice place. Taco Bell dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what this dog's problem is. Stop.
She's the mascot.
She's the official dog of the ARL.
Mm-hmm.
If she don't shut up, she might be the official dead dog of ARL.
And just tell her to Taco Bell. She's Chihuahua.
Might as well not say that, because then I'll have the ACLU after me. And PETA.
I want like pitas if they're like, you know, Greek.
God knows I don't want PETA after me.
Just have some, you know, feta cheese with it. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, show our lovely sponsor.
Yeah,
You
Lord
know,
Calvert. I
Calvert.
mean, come on, you guys got to step up to the plate. I mean,
You know,
this is getting old. I've been drinking your product for 20-some years now.
since he was a young lad.
Yeah, since before I wasn't supposed to be drinking it. So, you know, now I've got your gin. I'm brand loyal. Come on.
Got your gin. You got your whiskey over there.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
see, I mean, I'm brand loyal.
Yeah.
And Coors Light too, you know.
You got to throw a little bit of American in there or something.
You know, whatever. But I'm still waiting. I'm here. We're still here. We
Yeah.
and there's the dog again. Or it's in there, or she can go to the one upstairs if you want. She's not
Yeah, you.
off the kitchen. I can cut all that out.
That's fine. We're good. We're done. Boobs.
Are we still doing that? We're done with Lake Shawnee?
I mean, can you think of anything else to
I
talk
don't
about?
know.
I mean,
But
I kind of started repeating myself with it.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't really like it, but it was good. Again.
Well, I mean, you chalk it up to experience.
Yeah.
That gives us some experience to next time we have a huge place like that.
We're not as.
You know, maybe I mean, we could probably split up more
Mm-hmm.
because we were kind of just walking around together.
Well, you went to that ticket box by yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was.
but it really wasn't for that long because I got frustrated because
Nothing
you're
was
supposed to
happening.
have this big bad uh, being there, and
Something else. He was he said too, along with like the kids, there was like a tall shadow.
oh yeah, that's the shadow that Amy from the Dead Files saw.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
like
like a
8 foot.
10,000-year-old Indian, whatever, looking over the land.
Yeah.
Like it watches over the land, making sure nobody does anything bad to the land.
You did something pretty bad.
What are you talking about?
I want. I want. It wasn't anything destructive.
Yeah, we won't get into that because that wasn't a fun half hour in my life.
Yeah.
But
But honestly, I think there might have actually been something to kind of go along with Shawnee because, like, right when I got back, I got sick.
yeah, I mean, it could
I
have.
had a bug problem. Like, hell, I probably got cursed from it even more than I probably
It's
already am.
possible. I mean,
You
that
know,
is not a coincidence that
because I was feeling all right when we went. You know, I had like a headache, but like literally, like I went back, I fell asleep, I woke up, I was sick as dog. I ended up having strep like 3 days later and didn't even know it.
I mean, it's
You saw me during that time. Like I went a month before I even went to the doctor. And I'm like, I'm
anything's
sick.
possible. I mean, because I know you said you felt like something was behind you when you went back to the pavilion to get. What did you go to get batteries or something? Or
Yeah, my camera died, so I had to go
yeah.
charge the
So
battery
I
for it.
mean, who knows
Hmm.
what was going on there?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just kind of thought about that one. So that wasn't a fun time
well, what
actually. Kind of.
about too? Um, on that ticket booth, there was a pinwheel. You remember the pinwheel?
I think I took a picture. Yeah, I
It
remember
would
it.
spin even though it wasn't windy
It
out.
was it was inside.
So
Um,
they think that it was the little girl that would play with the pinwheel. And before everybody left, there were still like a couple of groups walking around. The one group, if you watched the video that I was talking to, they actually got it to stop and start on command,
hmm.
and that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't have a picture of it. I missed it. I couldn't get a clear enough picture of it. That's why.
Mm.
You know, because it was too dark around it. You know, but yeah, Shawnee is a nice place, interesting place.
Get down there if you need to, looking for something to do,
Yeah, look it up. It'll pop up all over there.
and shoot him a text or an email, and he'll Chris will let you know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, go on YouTube, look at videos, look at our video. You know, you get like the honest review. Really, I mean, we you and I both said good things and bad things with it. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, you can't get more honest than that compared to like Hollywood. And then like, oh, we definitely did
Yeah, I mean,
this.
of all the places that I would, if I was to lie about evidence, that would be the one I would be like, oh yeah, we got all this shit, and and but no. So yeah, so if you're gonna head on over there to our YouTube channel, check that out,
Go on Instagram,
and
check
on
out the photos I took. Uh, I'm working on a collage for it actually, like a collage video I did with the cemetery, Woodlawn Cemetery. I made a collage video. So I'm working on that now still. I know it's like already been almost a whole year with it, but yeah, I want to make sure it's really good
yeah,
because
I
I
know
really like those photos I
what
took
yeah,
there.
and what we got to realize it's just me and Nick, and we have full time jobs,
Hmm.
and we can only do what we can do.
Yeah.
And like I said, we started this from scratch, and he edits and does all the photos, and I edit all the video and upload it to YouTube. So I mean, that shit takes time.
I mean, it took us how long to even get our first video up?
Yeah, I mean,
You know, it took us months to even
because I had
get it
never
ready.
done anything like this before, and once I figured out the program, it made it a little bit easier.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, on to the next one.